Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Solidarity Challenge. My name is Chris Tunn, and today we are going to be bringing you some fantastic PES action between celebrities and athletes across the globe in aid of a really good charity that everyone needs to keep an eye on. And first and foremost, let's introduce who I will be joined by, of course, Harry Channon, one of my longtime friends and duos from the PES universe, of course. And it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Darren Fletcher into his first foray into competitive gaming, Darren, isn't it? It's you're used to the virtual pitch, not so... you're not used to the virtual pitch, so much the real pitch.
The real pitch. And I've just been told by you fellas before we started that this is a young man's game, which kind of puts me at the big disadvantage before we even start. But I'm going to really enjoy it today. It's really exciting. Delighted to be involved in it. And we've got some fantastic celebrities, sporting celebrities who are going to take part. And I think they're going to really enjoy it too. So there'll be a wonderful feel to the day. And I'm really glad to be part of it.
Excellent. Well, we're glad to have you along. Harry, of course, me and you have been here commentating over video games for quite some time now, but this is a little bit different, isn't it? There's plenty of big names involved in this one.
Yeah, what's brilliant about this is it's not just footballers involved. We've commentated tournaments before where, you know, professional footballers have come in and been playing PES. It's not just footballers now. We've got athletes from all walks of sport. So it's going to be interesting to see who's got their football brains plugged in and who might be a little bit behind on their footballing knowledge.
Well, if you want to figure out how we're going to be playing this, let's go through the rules of the tournament. Now, these guys will be playing on PES, the latest iteration of the game. But as you can see, we're just going to be playing a standard game of PES, just straight into penalty shootouts after a 10-minute game with 16 celebrity players. And there's, of course, a direct knockout. Well, the reason we are doing this, the Solidarity Challenge, is, of course, for the WHO's COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. Of course, the whole COVID-19 pandemic that has taken over the globe right now is a thing that's close to absolutely everybody. There's nobody that hasn't went untouched by this. So it's a really good cause that we hope you guys are going to get involved. If you do want to donate, it's www.solidaritychallenge.org. All donations go directly to the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund, and donations can be made in any currency. So that's why we're doing it. It's very important that we do battle this virus as best we can. But let's move into the competitors that we do have in this tournament. As mentioned before, there's some really, really big names. We're kicking off with a really big one as well, with Antoine Griezmann playing in his game. And we're interested to see how Antoine does against Ludovic Giuly, of course. But there's some huge names in there and some friends of yours, Darren, as well. How did you manage to get these boys in?
Yes, I am particularly looking forward to Steve McManaman versus Robert Pires and Jermaine Jenas against Liv Cooke, because Macca and JJ are the two people that I work closest with. Whether it be on the radio or on the television, one of those two or both of those are usually by my side. It's going to be great to see these two boys hopefully struggle.
They do have to perform for their friends, don't they? And everybody else watching at home. Harry, is there any other matchups in particular that you're looking at there and thinking, oh, that could be a cracker?
Yeah, mainly the footballer versus footballer matchups. We also have Farah participating as well against Tommy Fleetwood. That one should be a good game. But I'm particularly looking at one player, and that's Antoine Griezmann. We've had the pleasure of watching him play in a tournament previous, Chris, and he certainly knows what's about him. So he's very familiar with PES, plays PES very, very regularly. So he's going to be a tough one to beat. For me, he's probably the tournament favourite here, even though it is for a little bit of fun.
It is just for fun, but he has plenty of practice before. As I said, we have seen him on the esports stage, so to speak, playing against other professional footballers in previous challenges, but he's definitely known to be handy at PES. Now, his game, he's going to be going up against Ludovic Giuly. What are we thinking his ability is going to be, Darren? Of course, a former Barcelona player going up against a current. Maybe there's a little bit of a rivalry there because of it, or is it, oh, well, if you win, that's fine because you're representing Barcelona. I think either or are going to be happy with the win.
I have absolutely no idea whether Ludovic Giuly will be good at this game or not. And I completely bow to your knowledge that Antoine Griezmann is the tournament favourite. I'm fascinated by the fact that I'm presuming that Antoine Griezmann will play as Barcelona. So I'm quite keen to see Antoine Griezmann in control of Antoine Griezmann. And if Ludovic Giuly goes down that route as well, it could be Barcelona versus Barcelona. And Antoine Griezmann could be controlling Antoine Griezmann whilst being tackled by Antoine Griezmann. So these are the wonderful little wrinkles we could see during the course of the tournament.
Yeah, well, the universe is just going to explode when that happens on the pitch, isn't it? Life will end itself and just explode. But at this point now, let's start talking about the game. Let's talk to the players as well. Darren's going to have a chat with both the players.
Ludovic, Antoine, welcome to what we're about to do today. There are so many links between the two of you, whether it be Barcelona or France. How excited are you today about playing against each other?
Bon, je vais commencer parce que comme je suis outsider, non, je suis content. Je suis très content de jouer avec Antoine parce que, d'une part, parce qu'il est français et en plus il joue dans le club où j'ai joué. Et pour moi, c'est forcément une fierté de pouvoir discuter, de pouvoir justement me mettre à son niveau, au niveau du jeu. Et voilà, donc du coup, c'est toujours sympa de voir un collègue et un pote, voilà, pour discuter pour la bonne cause et surtout pour prendre du plaisir. Je crois qu'on est là pour s'amuser. Et même si je pense que je vais prendre une tôle, c'est pas grave, mais en tout cas, c'est voilà. Et donner de son temps, c'est important et Antoine le fait souvent et voilà, c'est sympa de sa part.
Moi, c'est un plaisir de pouvoir jouer avec Ludo qui est un modèle, qui a été un modèle par rapport à son jeu où j'ai essayé de prendre deux, trois petits trucs pour le mettre dans mon jeu et voilà, ça a été un grand joueur qui a passé de très bons moments ici à Barcelone. Donc j'espère m'approcher du niveau qu'il a eu ici à Barcelone et voilà, après cet après-midi passer du bon temps ensemble et donner du plaisir aussi aux gens.
I think this is going to be fun. Good luck to both of you. So really excited about this one. The first game in the tournament, it pits Antoine Griezmann against Ludovic Giuly, two former Barcelona players, two former France internationals. From Antoine Griezmann's perspective, he was the top scorer at Euro 2016, the man of the match in the World Cup final. Ludovic Giuly, a La Liga winner during his time with Barcelona. And significantly here, Harry, both of them have chosen Barcelona, so we could potentially get this scenario. Griezmann tackled by Griezmann whilst being controlled by Griezmann. Here's the first bit of defending for Jordi Alba to do. Which of the players is home and which is away? Who's in the home strip and who's in the yellow?
So I believe Griezmann is in the yellow away strip of Barcelona, and then of course the home strip will be Ludovic Giuly. It should be a really interesting matchup, this one, Darren. I'm not going to lie to you because, as we touched upon before, both of these players played for Barcelona. They should know the team in and out. Obviously, Griezmann will have the advantage in that respect, playing for the team currently. But
yep,
looks like this
first
one actually will be...
Antoine Griezmann, Harry, and it was a tackle by Busquets. It does seem slightly bizarre as the commentator when you've got a Barcelona player tackling a Barcelona player, but I'm sure we'll get there in the end.
Yeah, it was quite tricky to get your head around it, but it should be a really interesting one, purely based on how experienced Griezmann is, but also because of his opponent formerly playing for the club himself. So a lot of bragging rights on the line here as well.
So it's and it's just over the top of the bar.
I mean, I don't blame him for putting himself on the free kick, Darren. I think I would do the same. We've commentated over PES tournaments before where professional footballers haven't even played themselves on the pitch. So it's good to see Griezmann really getting into the spirit of the event. I fully anticipate him being on every single free kick, every penalty, and probably every corner as well.
Well, he maybe did something there that he'd like to do in Barcelona. He actually took Lionel Messi off the free kick and put himself on it, which you don't often get the chance to do in the Camp Nou. Anyway, here is Antoine Griezmann. Don't forget the yellow Barcelona away strip is Antoine Griezmann, and the home strip is Ludovic Giuly, and that was good defending there by Gerard Piqué to get the ball behind. I would think from a tactical perspective here, and bearing in mind you picked out Antoine Griezmann as potentially the favourite, the fact he's made a decent start like this will give Ludovic Giuly a certain amount of confidence, Harry.
Yeah, certainly. A lot of PES is played in this midfield third, so if you can't control the ball like Griezmann is doing here after momentarily losing it, you're always going to set yourself up really well for an attack. One thing that Giuly is doing well, though, is defending early. He's getting to the ball first, so it's something Griezmann will have to get his head around.
Little ball in there by Messi, and Antoine Griezmann was the target. Vidal over there losing out to Griezmann, the other one, and Suarez can now get involved in the game. Here's Dembele, Artur, And Umtiti made the challenge back there. Here's a bit of space for Antoine Griezmann as the away-kitted Barcelona come forward. Now don't forget, this is Antoine Griezmann controlling this team. Here's Jordi Alba. Griezmann with the chance, and down quickly to Stegen, the goalkeeper.
Well played there from Griezmann. Encouraging opening 20 minutes for him. I wonder whether or not it might just weigh on his mind a little bit that he is playing against a former Barcelona player. Obviously, we fully anticipate Griezmann to go quite deep in this tournament, but has to overcome this hurdle first.
Suarez looking to turn, supported here by Griezmann, and then De Jong. Alba forward. It's nice football that, in and around the penalty area, but ultimately comes to nothing. Don't forget, the winner will go through, the loser is out. And Ludovic Giuly's team have this corner to defend, which is taken short to Jordi Alba. Here's Messi. Alba drills that across the penalty area, clawed away by the goalkeeper, kept alive here by Alba, who's actually being marked by Jordi Alba. So it's Alba against Alba. Here's Griezmann, controlled by Griezmann, who shoots, and it's in. It's the first goal of the game, and it's scored by Luis Suarez. And Antoine Griezmann, the pre-tournament favourite in many people's eyes, scores first here in this one against Ludovic Giuly.
Just a nice late peeling run there from the Uruguayan. He's done that so often for Barcelona. Now he's performing on the virtual pitch as well. Griezmann will be disappointed he didn't score the first goal of the tournament with his own virtual representative, but Luis Suarez does the business.
So in many ways, it was a double assist. Antoine Griezmann assisting Antoine Griezmann, who teed it up on a plate for Luis Suarez. So Ludovic Giuly finds himself behind. Antoine Griezmann's Barcelona are ahead by 1-0. And now the emphasis is on Ludovic Giuly to try and find a way back in. And he's trying to do that down that side with Jordi Alba. And eventually it's worked here to Gerard Piqué. I think what we are seeing at the moment, Harry, is the fact that as a defensive team, Ludovic Giuly's Barcelona seem to be okay, but they're not quite fluent, are they, when they get forward? Yet when we see Antoine Griezmann controlling his Barca side, there's a lot more creativity and inventiveness.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And we can see it here again as Griezmann has a real chance. I think Sergio Roberto will just get there first. But I think maybe Giuly might be a little bit jealous about the fact Griezmann can control a virtual version of himself. He might be thinking that maybe 2004, 2005 Barcelona in the game might have been helping him out and he might be putting up a better attacking force, but he's still in this game, only down by 1, half-time approaching.
Antoine Griezmann using the fullbacks well, Jordi Alba down the left in particular. Gerard Piqué can bring it away here for Giuly, and then up towards Suarez, who was challenged by Piqué. Dembele to Griezmann. And then Messi was making the run through the middle, and it was good defending back there, although ter Stegen was just forced to hurry there before he got it away. Antoine Griezmann's Barcelona back in possession here with Frenkie de Jong. Suarez, now Messi. Vidal combining over there with Nelson Semedo, and then Busquets can pick up the pieces. Here's de Jong. Slip through here to Griezmann. Back it goes. Vidal running through. Brilliant goal. Fantastically done that from Antoine Griezmann. Finished off by Arturo Vidal. Griezmann leads Giuly by 2-0. And that was slick, sharp, inventive, incisive football. A fantastic way for Antoine Griezmann to double his lead.
Honestly, the confidence that Antoine Griezmann plays with in the final third, he just has so much time and patience. The peel off from Vidal was perfect. The finish matched it. A goal scorer's game here for Griezmann, as he's up 2 now with half-time very much on the horizon.
Well, there is half-time. Luis Suarez and Arturo Vidal with the goals in the first half for Antoine Griezmann's Barcelona. And so far, Harry, living up to your prediction before the tournament kicked off, that he might well be the man to beat.
Well, this is it. He's very experienced with the game of PES, and I'm not sure how much game time Giuly has under his belt, but Griezmann is well experienced, and you can see that in his confidence in the build-up play. Plays with lots of professional PES players as well, so no doubt would have got some tips and tricks off of them. He's well versed in the world of eFootball PES.
Excellent football again here from Griezmann's Barcelona. It was Griezmann looking to try and find a way through. He's still going here. Here's Suarez. Stepping in there was Gerard Piqué. Suarez to Messi. Antoine Griezmann, Luis Suarez, and Piqué did just about enough there. Ludovic Giuly surviving. I suppose he's got a fighting chance still if he can score the next goal in the match, but at the moment it's one-way traffic.
Yeah, the problem is for Giuly and the difference between the two squads. They're both playing that 4-3-3 that Barcelona in the real world like to employ, but the difference is, as Giuly will actually get a strike away here.
That was a good save. Suarez with the shot tipped over the bar by Ter Stegen. That was something that might just give Ludovic Giuly a shot of confidence. See what they can do from the corner. Messi with the ball in and headed away by Sergio Busquets. That might just have been a momentum changer had that managed to sneak under the bar.
What Griezmann's doing differently is that he's able to introduce the midfield three into the final third. That's something that Giuly is almost trying to force the ball forward. He needs to try and get that midfield triplet into an attacking position. As you watch Griezmann here using dummy runs, he's using the entire width of the pitch at times, whereas Giuly feels like he has to go forward all the time, and well, it's hurting him in the long run.
Here's Arturo Vidal, who scored the second goal in the first half for Antoine Griezmann's Barcelona. Frenkie de Jong now onto Dembele. Now Suarez. And they're looking to threaten again. It's Dembele with the opportunity. Really good challenge in there for Ludovic Giuly's side. Here's Sergio Busquets. Messi. Wonderful turn. Still going here, Messi, although Longley made an important challenge. Desperate defending at times back there, isn't it, for Ludovic Giuly? Hanging on and trying to hang in there.
And that one may be a kick out in frustration because of the amount of defending he's having to do. It will be a free kick to Griezmann's Barcelona, but you're right. I suppose that the plus side for Giuly at this point, it is only 2.
Messi! Oh, that's fantastic! Brilliant goal from Lionel Messi. I once commentated on him scoring one like that in a European fixture, which turned out to be his 600th goal for Barcelona. And that was almost a carbon copy. Left foot, top corner, and nothing that Ludovic Giuly could do with regards to getting Ter Stegen across there to save it. Magical Messi, and that's 3-0 to Antoine Griezmann.
I questioned whether or not Griezmann might just try and float one into the box, but up steps Leo Messi. And, well, it's 3 now. Really difficult to see Giuly come back in this one for a result. Maybe there is a goal in it for him if Griezmann's concentrations maybe dip, but so far he has absolutely bossed this fixture.
Well, sometimes you watch a PES match and you see players do things that ordinarily they wouldn't be able to do, but that's exactly what Messi can do, and he did it there. So the electronic version living up to the real-life version of the all-time great Lionel Messi. And it's been a very good performance here by Antoine Griezmann's Barcelona, a comfortable situation that they find themselves in. And Ludovic Giuly's found it very, very difficult to respond. Here's Messi again. Griezmann looking for another one. It's a good save. Can Dembele come on the follow-up? Yes, he can. It's 4-0. And it's starting to run away from Ludovic Giuly now. And Antoine Griezmann scoring 2 in the first half and 2 in the second half. This one from Dembele. And it's 4-0.
I mean, the shot initially just had so much venom on it. And at this point, it's a show match for Griezmann. He wants to try and score as many as possible, or maybe put out a statement of intent for the rest of the competitors in this competition. It's 4 now.
Well,
really well worked.
The only thing that's probably disappointing Antoine Griezmann, the real-life Antoine Griezmann at the moment, is the fact that Griezmann in his team hasn't scored yet. The goals have been shared around, but so far we don't see the name Griezmann on the scoreboard. Here's Jordi Alba, and now Arturo Vidal, and now Lionel Messi for number 5. He can walk it in. Ter Stegen with a big save. Well, we thought it was going to be 5, and Giuly somehow able to pull off the save. Ter Stegen there for Barcelona. Thought for all the world that Messi was going to get number 5. Taken short by Messi into Vidal. I think that will come as a little bit of relief to Ludovic Giuly, the fact he's got the ball out of play and they can have a bit of respite. It's been one-way traffic, wave after wave of Antoine Griezmann attacks. And the scoreboard tells you just how emphatic it's been so far. Here's Nelson Semedo, Lionel Messi, back again to Semedo, and they're queuing up in the middle if they can get it in there. And the opportunity of a counter-attack there snuffed out by a combination of Umtiti and Piqué. Here's Dembele, Jordi Alba, and headed just wide. Ter Stegen wouldn't have got there. It's another excellent move from Antoine Griezmann, who's controlled these Barcelona players superbly in this game.
Well, if you want to hear something really disappointing, I think Antoine Griezmann has subbed off Antoine Griezmann. I think he's had enough of his virtual performance and has brought on Ousmane Dembele, who of course scored just moments previous. So I suppose it was the right substitution. A little bit disappointing for me though, Darren.
Yeah, it's actually got rid of any chance of Griezmann tackling Griezmann with Griezmann at the control, so that we can forget that. We've mentioned it 2 or 3 times. It's not going to happen. What is going to happen, though, is Antoine Griezmann's going to go through to the next round unless we have the all-time greatest PES comeback that anybody's ever seen. Cleared away by Artur. And now there's a possibility for Messi to get forward here for Ludovic Giuly. And is there going to be a consolation goal at the end of all this? He's still going here, Messi. There's the cross, but he's managed to hit the side netting. And we are going to see, though, the yellow card for Suarez for that, which, yeah, even in the game version, you're going to get a yellow for that, Harry.
I'm surprised it wasn't worse, to be honest with you. That was, I mean, completely out of control from Luis Suarez, but at this point, Griezmann, he won't mind. He could get 3 players sent off and he'll probably still be sailing through.
There's Albert. Piqué's got to go out there. Longley with the challenge. Dembele with the clearance. Here's Messi, taken off him by De Jong. Now Busquets. Suarez to Vidal. And back to Suarez, who's in for number 5 and gets number 5.
If you think back to the first 20 or so in-game minutes, he was defending really, really well, but just lost track of Suarez there. And as you said, you can tell how confident Griezmann is in controlling his virtual players. Too many Barcelona home-stripped players rushing towards the ball. Suarez doing what he does, finishing off chances. And, well, Griezmann will be advancing, and it's the performance we expected. Now we just have to think about who could really challenge him here in the Solidarity Challenge.
Well, it's a marker laid down by Antoine Griezmann. A 5-0 win against Ludovic Giuly. Antoine, that was a fantastic win for you. 5 goals. It's the perfect way to start, I suppose.
Yes, quand j'ai fait ma petite vidéo sur Insta, j'ai annoncé 5 buts et ils sont là pour le public.
Heureusement que t'as pas dit 10, hein, parce que sinon je serais passé pour un...
Non, 10 ça aurait été impossible. Ça aurait été impossible.
Ludovic, how do you feel after that? You kept it tight early, and then when the first goal went in, it was very difficult from there.
Ouais, non, en fait, c'est quand il a marqué le deuxième que ça a changé moralement. J'ai pris un coup derrière la tête. C'est quand, juste avant la mi-temps, il marque ce deuxième but. Et là, oui, physiquement et mentalement, j'ai plus 20 ans. Ça a été très dur. Ouais. C'était très dur de me relever. Mais je n'ai pas dit mon dernier mot. Je vais revenir, je vais m'entraîner et je serai un peu meilleur. Vous verrez ça.
Thank you, guys. Well done. Thank you.
Merci.
What a performance from Antoine Griezmann there. Harry, Darren, what can we say about the performance? He just looked above and beyond, didn't he, Harry? Such a good PES player as Antoine Griezmann.
Yeah, it's what we expected from him, really. The fact that he's played in these types of competitions before, he knows what to expect, and the fact that he takes pride in winning in every fashion that he can. I think he'll be pretty pleased with that performance, will Antoine. And again, as we said before the match, we fully expect him to go all the way here, and I think he's just proven why.
Looks like the man to beat, Darren. He seemed to enjoy it as well, didn't he, after the post-game interview?
Yeah, I mean, both of them played it in great spirit, didn't they? And I felt for Ludovic Giuly because he was clearly outmatched against Antoine, who's a significantly more experienced PES player than he is. But he had a big smile on his face. That they both really enjoyed it. But I think it's going to take a pretty good player to slow Antoine Griezmann down. I mean, the standard of the goals, the type of PES that he was able to play, the little passing movements and the messy free kick and all that kind of thing. He looks like he's going to be very, very serious when it comes to deciding who wins this thing in the end.
He definitely looks a player, but we've got a game that is going to pique your interest, particularly here, Darren, coming up next. We've got Steve McManaman going up against Robert Pires. Are we excited for this one to see your good mate take part?
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned here because I've just seen Ludovic Giuly take a beating, and I'm fearing that Maka might take a beating too if Robert Pires is any good, but we don't know, do we? So we're going to find out. All I know is that Maka would go into the slightly underprepared category, so that's all I'm going to say. And I don't think he realizes that if he wins, he's got to play again. So he's going to be putting everything into this performance, not knowing that he could potentially go through to the next round. So there's a lot of things that Steve could find out about himself and his circumstances by the end of the next game.
Darren's licking his lips. The fact he could give his mate a bit of stick here.
Well, if he's any good, he's going to have to clear his schedule, isn't he? Because there is plenty more action to come. But just to let you guys know exactly why we're doing this, it is the Solidarity Challenge. www.solidaritychallenge.org to donate. You can donate in any currency, in everything. Every single penny of your donation goes to the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund by the WHO. Of course, this is a global pandemic that everyone here is trying to fight against. But as said, we've got Steve McManaman coming up against Robert Pires after this quick break. Guys, welcome back to the Solidarity Challenge. My name is Chris Turner. Once again, joined by Harry Channon and Darren Fletcher. A fantastic game there with Antoine Griezmann up against Ludovic Giuly there before. Antoine Griezmann looking very, very good, but we've got a game that is close to us, or at least close to Darren Fletcher here. Steve McManaman against Robert Pires coming up right now. Interested to see this one, Darren. Do you have much faith in your colleague there? I know you probably don't, but let's try and sugarcoat it maybe a little bit.
I always have complete faith in my sidekick, Mr. McManaman. It's a battle of the wingers, this one, isn't it? I mean, you can imagine them in the same team, can't you? Pires down one side and McManaman down the other. I think you'd score plenty of goals. Steve's really laid back, but he'll want to win. But it's not really Steve's thing. You know, if you're going to say, what does Steve McManaman do? Playing Pro Evolution Soccer is not one of the things you put on the list. So he's taken a step into the unknown for a great cause today. So I just wish him well. I've got my fingers crossed. I'd love him to win because he's my mate, but you know, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. But just to confirm for you guys again and reiterate this consistently, this is the Solidarity Challenge. This is obviously, as Darren mentioned, for a great charity. www.solidaritychallenge.org. Donation can be done in any currency on the website. Every single part of that donation goes to the COVID-19 Relief Fund by the WHO. So make sure you do donate if you can. Harry, Robert Pires, fantastic Arsenal player, of course. Do you think he'll have what it takes on the sticks? And I'm curious, obviously, if he's going to use Arsenal. I would like to think he is going to, you would think.
Yes, I would be bitterly disappointed if he didn't, considering he's almost synonymous with that club. Pires, funnily enough, actually was at the PES2020 World Finals. He was at the Emirates.
I remember.
Shook his hand. Me being a Tottenham supporter, it took a lot of guts for me to do that. So I'd like a pat on the back if you guys could. But no, it should be again a really fun matchup.
Very exciting again this game. But first and foremost, Darren is going to chat to Steve and Robert.
So, fellas, Steve, Robert, before we get to Robert, I've got to talk to you, Maka, because we've been watching you behind the scenes, struggle to actually get connected here. So this is the game might actually be the easy part. Actually getting you online to play has been the biggest problem here.
No, I think the game's going to be the hard part. And if you saw how much I struggled with setting it up, you know that I'm in big trouble, I think, Flex, later on.
Have you practiced at all? I mean, I said to everybody, you're the most laid-back man in the room, but have you done anything? Have you played at all?
No. I had half a game yesterday when I tried to set it up. And I had to go out for season, and I haven't played it since before. It just matters out my hand that I had to be out of the house and see the family. So, unfortunately, I'll be learning as I play, to be extremely honest. So, if Robert's any good, the pressure's all on him.
Right, so let's ask him. So when you hear that, Robert, he's played half a game, he can't get connected online. You must be super confident now, surely.
Yes, I'm very confident now. I think Maka is better with the feet, not with head.
Correct.
Thank you, Maka. I'm very comfortable now.
If I could play the PlayStation with my feet, Robert, I'd be okay. It's just that you put something in my hands and there's nothing down for them. That's the only thing.
Merci.
Have you been practicing, Robert, at all? Have you been playing too? Are you ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm not a player for PES, but yeah, I love to watch my son because he loves to play. So I know a little bit.
I wish you well, fellas. We'll speak after. So here we go then. We have Steve McManaman against Robert Pires. Well, he's on the way here with Higuain, and that's a fantastic save. Nice and slowly, very methodically, and then the powerful shot that was heading in before the save. Here's Nicola Pepe with an opportunity and a shot. That's a brilliant save. Don't forget, the winner goes through and the loser goes out. It will go straight to penalties if that's what we have at the end of the full game time. And there's a shot from pretty much the halfway line that needed a
shot
save.
from a mile.
They've gone long again, up towards Ronaldo, takes it down brilliantly on the chest and turns and shoots. And all it needed again was a better finish. McManaman in his prime, he's going to go all the way here, Douglas Costa, and then he's gone to, he's just wide! How close was that? Douglas Costa still, he's going to go through the lot again. Here's Douglas Costa, now is there a finish? He's put it wide!
You nutter!
We will go to penalties. There we go. He scored, so 1-0 McManaman. Cristiano Ronaldo with a penalty. Here comes Xhaka. And he's just chipped it straight into the arms of the goalkeeper.
We just saw McManaman miss one. Does he go back down the middle?
We're about to find out. Up steps Lacazette. He scored. We're all square. 1-1. Up steps Ramsey. He saved another one, Leno.
This is it.
He's put it straight at the goalkeeper again. I can't believe it.
Well, into sudden death penalties we go. You can tell Pires not comfortable going either side. He's gone down the middle with most of his penalties.
So up steps Bentancur for Steve McManaman. He's put it wide. He's gone for the corner and missed it. Scores to win it for Arsenal. Robert Pires, when it really mattered, sees Dani Ceballos step up to score the winning spot kick. And Robert Pires and Arsenal go through. Right, listen, let's cut to the check. You would normally start at this stage with the winner, but I'm actually going to start off with the loser. How on earth did you lose that game?
I actually thought I played quite well. It's just that I couldn't keep the ball. I couldn't keep the ball below the goal. That's the only thing. If I was playing American football or rugby, I would have won 30, 33, 3. But unfortunately, I'm playing football and couldn't keep it below the goal. I surprised myself.
Robert, we said during the game that this has got Pires on penalties written all over it because he had all the ball. Douglas Costa's running riot. You hardly had a shot, and we could see it. We knew you were going to win on penalties.
Yeah, I think it was the last solution for me to win the game, just on the penalties. Because during the game, I was so bad.
Yeah, fantastic. Steve, thanks for being such a great sport, as I knew you would be. And Robert, we'll see you in the next round.
Well, an instant classic, I'm going to say, guys, or was it? Darren, what was going on there? Mac has been robbed.
I think That's what this is all about. I think that this is the Solidarity Challenge in a nutshell. Both of them have done their best. Maka, how he's not won that, I'll never know. He won't sleep tonight. He'll be playing those chances over and over in his mind. He'll be cursing Douglas Costa. He'll be cursing Robert Pires. And of course, Robert can't even get hold of the ball. He had one chance, I think, in the entire period of normal time. Every penalty that he takes goes straight down the middle into the goalkeeper's arms. And then when he needs it, he picks out the top corner. I mean, Harry's never seen anything like that. He's seen way more of this than I have, and he's never experienced a game like that.
The game-winning penalty was the type of penalty that we see at the top-level competitions, actually winning tournaments, and Pires just pulls that one out of the bag at the very last minute. You can't predict it at all.
Unbelievable game. Plenty more to go. But just to remind you guys why we're doing this is obviously the Solidarity Challenge. The Solidarity website is www.solidaritychallenge.org. Donation asset can be made in any currency. These donations are all going directly to the COVID-19 fund by the WHO to help out the whole planet in this whole pandemic that we have going on. But there's plenty more action to come, and hopefully some games as entertaining as that. Coming up next is Tommy Fleetwood against Sir Mo Farah. Guys, welcome back to the Solidarity Challenge. We are into our third game of the day. Today we're going to see Tommy Fleetwood taking on Sir Mo Farah. And of course, I'm joined here by Harry Channon and Darren Fletcher, as per usual. Very excited to get into this one, guys. Two very storied athletes here taking on each other, and a bit different to their normal sport, of course, football. But Harry, I'm excited to see them take each other on in PES.
Yeah, I mean, these are two athletes that are so used to winning in their respective fields that although this is for, a bit of fun to raise awareness, I still think that they would like to get some wins under their belt. So I'm expecting to see a good competition here, I think.
Darren, it's very different to what they would usually do, isn't it? Very different to something you usually do as well, sitting at home in front of the screen in the virtual pitch instead. Would you give anybody an edge in terms of just mental fortitude? It's going to be difficult for them to just pick up the pad and do something completely different.
I think whichever one of them has more time on their hands is likely to be the better of the two, because you've got to practice, and it's how quick you can get the fingers. I talk to my son and daughter on these kind of things all the time, and whenever I've got to give them a game, I'm all over the place because the fingers just don't work quickly enough. So you've got to get the time in, you've got to get the preparation in, and whichever of these two fellas has worked the hardest before this game today is going to have the best opportunity. They're both football mad, so they're going to really enjoy it. And they're both great characters too, so it should be fantastic.
Very much looking forward to getting into the game, but just to remind you guys to why we are doing this at the Solidarity Challenge, you must visit www.solidaritychallenge.org. Click on the donation link. We are here to support the WHO and the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. Make sure you can donate anything you can during this difficult time, of course, for the whole planet, but that is the reason that we are here. So looking at both these two guys, obviously football fans, as you mentioned, Darren, any indication to what sort of teams they're going to be using here, though, Harry? Have we got any sort of idea who we're thinking they're going to be picking?
Well, we were just chatting quickly before we came on air. Mo Farah is a massive Arsenal fan, isn't he? So I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe choose the North London club there. In terms of Tommy Fleetwood, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. It's going to be interesting to see. It might be a Barcelona come out. I think we're just going to have to wait and see. There's obviously plenty of decent teams in the eFootball PES2020 that you can use. We'll see which way Tommy Fleetwood wants to go. I think it will be an interesting one to see in terms of matchups in the game.
And I think that's the thing, though, isn't it? Is that do you go with maybe a stronger team, or do you go with somebody you support? It's a case of how much do you want it. Of course, we are playing on the stat balance team, so every single team has the same rating to a point. Messi will maybe be brought in a little bit playing for Barcelona, of course, whereas you maybe see some players maybe pushed up a little bit in terms of their statistics in real life. So everyone's sort of on a level playing field here, but. I'm interested to get into this one as soon as we can, though, and see which way it's going to go. I'm curious to see who Tommy is going to use. But I said, Darren, Mo, a big Arsenal fan as well. Do you think you'll be able to do the Gunners some justice in this one?
Well, he's got the opportunity to actually win something with Arsenal, hasn't he? Which has been difficult for them in recent times. So maybe you can book the trend to a certain extent. Maybe he can give himself a little bit of a celebration towards the end of the season. It's going to mean that little bit more to him, though, isn't he? Because he can play with his own team, so he might just try that little bit harder.
He may indeed. Well, I do believe we are nearly ready to speak to the players. Darren, you're going to have a chat with them, then we're going to get into the game.
Okay, so Mo, let's start with you. The big controversial moment already in this match is the fact that you're going to play as Juventus and not Arsenal, so you need to explain that one.
It was a tough one, as you know. A massive Arsenal fan. I always will be Arsenal fan, but it's a computer game, so I thought if I pick Juventus, have Ronaldo, and I could maybe score a few goals. I'm hoping anyway.
So from your perspective, Tommy, you've gone Barcelona. I think a lot of people are going to go Barcelona because then you get the little magic man in the team, don't you?
Well, yeah, there's one certain good player, so it's like a Messi v Ronaldo face-off at the moment. But I did think Mo would go Arsenal. Juventus might be a slightly tougher game, I think.
Yeah. So to both of you, what about the preparation then? Because in your own respective sporting fields, you have to work so hard to get ready for the big moment. In this field, this is your big moment up against each other. Have you been practicing? What have you been doing?
For me, yeah, I managed to get a little practice in, just like free kick, passing the ball, and just try to understand a bit more. But really, the nerve-wracking is right now because it's almost like, when I'm ready to race and you're lining up, you're putting your spikes on, you're getting changed. That's the bit. It's nerve-wracking. I don't know what it's like for Tommy, but myself is that bit. Once you get past that bit, then you can actually just concentrate the game and enjoy it. But right now, talking to you, try and answer some questions is probably the hardest thing.
Well, this is just a dream for me because everybody knows the next best thing to being on the track with Sir Mo Farah is playing him on a PlayStation. So that's it for me. I'm enjoy the game. I've had a couple of practice games. I'm yet to score a goal, so I must be due some.
And we're gonna build this one today, fellas, as the Knight of the Realm against the King of the Fairways. What do you think to that?
It's a good time.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. And as long as we don't fall up with each other and we actually get to know one another, I think that's the key for me. Is like, don't want to be that sore loser because I love to learn some skills. What he does
already.
Yeah.
The key thing for both of you today is just to enjoy it. Just make sure you enjoy it and make sure when it comes to time to press that button, you press the right one. That's the key today.
That's the key, yeah. Look at the screen, not the buttons.
Good luck, boys. We wish you well.
All right, mate. Come on, Tommy. Let's do it.
Come on, mate.
So here we go then. Juventus against Barcelona. Sir Mo Farah against Tommy Fleetwood. And Harry Shannon, what about this then today? How do you think these two guys are going to match up and how do these two teams match up?
Well, it should be a really fun one. Looking at the two teams, Juventus, Barcelona, two teams that have been quite prevalent in PES lately. Obviously, you have the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, which obviously Sir Mo Farah is going to try and utilise. And you have Leo Messi, of course, as well. For Tommy. So it'll be an interesting aspect to the game to see how these two, sporting superstars use the respective virtual superstars on the pitch.
Then goes the cross. It's the first opportunity there for Griezmann with the header, and Szczesny, the goalkeeper, was there to save it. We're also going to find out very soon which of the two of them has been practicing the most. I've got to say, the way it started, there was some nice slick football there from the Barcelona side of things, which certainly reflects well on Tommy, of course.
Yeah, it does certainly seem that he's the more comfortable of the two at the moment. Worth noting, of course, we are in the stat balancing mode, which means, yes, they are using different players, but uniform ratings overall, so about as fair as it could be on the virtual pitch at the moment.
I'm back.
Ronaldo back there making tackles for Juventus, which is something that Sir Mo Farah won't want to see too much of. He'll want him up the other end of the pitch, trying to score the goals. Clipped on there by Bentancur to Douglas Costa, who we know, if you see him play, is an absolute lightning bolt down the wings for Juventus. Bentancur again. Alexandro with the shot, and that's not that far wide. It's the first real attempt on target for either of them. The yellow card there for Bentancur, I think that's for a very early challenge that he made in the match. It was pretty much in the opening few seconds of the game. He went clattering in. You'll see it now. Yeah, that is definitely a yellow card, whether it's in this form or any kind of football for that matter. You can't get away with those, Harry.
Certainly not. First real strike, though, from Juventus. And, well, Samo is looking good for his money at the moment. Tommy obviously trying to fashion something with Barcelona. He has those attacking weapons, but so far, Mo, I've been impressed with him in the midfield. He's certainly looking to break on the counter-attack here and there as well. So we'll see what he can do now.
Here's a chance for Ronaldo to get at Sergi Roberto over there for Juventus, but it's not a very good cross.
What's that for? Penalty!
I think the biggest problem for the two of them, and they both might find this, is that split second where you've got to press the right button and score the goal. At the minute, it's the finishing that's letting everybody down.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Looks like this one's going to be brought back for a foul right on the edge for Sir Mo Farah. But you're right, obviously, reaction times, getting to grips with the controller, obviously, practice is going to come into play for all the competitors in this challenge.
So let's have a look whether Sir Mo can inspire Cristiano Ronaldo from the free kick. And it's a little clip in towards the far post. And tied it up in there for Barcelona via the fingers of Tommy Fleetwood for Ivan Rakitic. Here's Antoine Griezmann. Lots of attacking options, of course, in the Barcelona team.
So slow on the ball.
Aaron Ramsey, the former Arsenal player, in there to win it back. Here's Higuain and Sergio Busquets, who's been doing that job at the base of the Barcelona midfield so impressively for so long. There to win it back again. Here's the little magic man, Messi.
Well, he's fast.
Now the Dutchman, Frenkie de Jong. There might be a shooting opportunity coming up here. That's a brilliant save. Superbly struck off the left foot there of Frenkie de Jong, and that was a flying save by Szczesny that was very, very impressive. The approach play initially from Tommy, and then, of course, the instinctive goalkeeping at the other end then from Samo. So they both did really well there.
Yeah, we were just bigging up Samo, weren't we, as maybe the likelier of the two to score in the opening 25 minutes. But Tommy's just shown us there that, well, he's a competitor in and of himself. So it's good to see. We're going to see a real game on our hands here.
Yeah, we have the most decorated athlete in the history of British athletics up against one of the very best golfers in the world.
The ball, boys.
And we have no goals at the moment between Samo Farah and Tommy Fleetwood. Barcelona against Juventus. And here is de Jong for Barcelona with the ball in towards Lionel Messi that was headed away by Alexandro.
You've played this before,
How many times you got?
I don't believe you.
Sergi Roberto with the cross, and that's deflected behind for a corner over there to Barcelona, which Messi's gone across to take.
Let's go. I know where you're going. Right there.
And it goes towards Luis Suarez and headed away by Ronaldo as far as Sergi Roberto, and there's another brilliant save. Well, Samo's certainly been working on the defending side and the goalkeeping side. There's no doubt about that. That's another brilliant save by Szczesny after a well-struck shot was flying into the top corner, Harry.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I won't lie, I've been really impressed with Tommy's attacking play so far. The last 10 or so in-game minutes have really been one-way traffic. We'll see if Mo can respond, though.
Cristiano Ronaldo might be the man to do it with the shot, and there's brilliant goalkeeping at the other end.
Got the ball.
So we've seen Samo at one end helping out Wojciech Szczesny, and now we see Tommy Fleetwood denying Cristiano Ronaldo. Great strike, loads of power, great save too. And I agree with you, both fellas here doing fantastically well. Some really good attacking play on both sides. It has been, though, up to now, though, a bit of a backs-to-the-wall job for Samo Farah.
It really has. And I think getting a grasp of that midfield with the likes of Bentancur and obviously Blaise Matuidi as well, you need to start putting in full-blooded challenges like that. You can't let the likes of Frenkie de Jong run the midfield. We're approaching half-time here, though.
Listen, Harry, I think you've missed one there. I think the referee has as well. That looks a stonewall free kick to me. I can't believe that that's not gone as a free kick.
Well,
you cannot tackle like that. Whatever game of football it is, you can't do that. The referee's missed one there.
The virtual
That would have been
referee
a brilliant
sometimes gets it
opportunity from
wrong.
the free kick for Tommy Fleetwood. That was a chance gone. The referee, I think he's missed that. Here's Sergio Busquets. That's a lot cleaner from Bentancur. Douglas Costa, great chance now. They've got a 2-on-1. It's Ronaldo running in. Out comes the goalkeeper. Ronaldo, oh, he's missed it. He's missed it. How's he missed that?
That was poor. That was poor from Mo Farah. He actually had an option on here as well. Just needed to get it on target, didn't he? And it was just went for power over placement. Half time, rapidly approaching. That would have been a great goal to score.
Oh, what an opportunity. That's far and away the best chance that either side has had in the first half. And when you think how much defending Mo Farah and Juventus have had to do, they ultimately had the best opportunity. Cristiano Ronaldo, goal at his mercy, and he put it wide, and it's 0-0 at half-time.
I will say, though, very impressed by both of these athletes. I reckon they're letting on a little bit too little before the game. I think they've put in a lot of practice here because there's plenty of first-time passes going on.
There's a chance for Rakitic. Oh, it took a deflection and went wide. I'm not sure whether that was the goalkeeper or the defender. Great bit of play. Jordi Alba rampaging forward down the left for Barcelona. In went the cross. It gets cleared as far as Rakitic here. And it has gone off the defender looking behind for the corner.
Yeah, Rakitic incensed. Lovely touch, though. And I think Tommy did the right thing. Just getting the touch down, going for the strike straight away.
Well, the messy corner easily dealt with by the Juventus defence. This Higuain. Clement Longley missed it. That was a little bit of an error of judgment there from Tommy. He's got Jordi Alba on the move, though, here, supported by Frenkie de Jong. Given away, though, to Higuain. Let's see whether Mo can put an attack of substance together. But looking for Ronaldo again, who's got the better of Sergi Roberto. A good tackle, though, by the Barcelona right-back. Here's Matuidi. Higuain. Slick attacking play from Mo. Now, what can Higuain do? Oh, the referee's seen something there, Harry. What's he spotted?
I think he's just seen maybe a stamp on the Juve man. Higuain obviously having a chat about it, but this could be a real opportunity. We'll see it again here, exactly what happened, but either way, Mo is going to have a diamond opportunity.
Well, if it wasn't a free kick a few minutes ago, that's not a free kick either.
Double standards maybe by the virtual referee.
Right, let's have a look at this then. Ronaldo, great opportunity this. Can Mo Farah get the first goal of the game? He's got Cristiano Ronaldo and his trusty fingers to rely on. And he hits it straight into the wall. Ronaldo again. And Jordi Alba was there with the block. Now the counter-attack on for Barcelona and Tommy Fleetwood, led by Ivan Rakitic. Here's Luis Suarez. It's a great opportunity. It's fantastic goalkeeping again by Szczesny.
Yeah,
well,
credit
certainly
Mo Farah there.
The goalkeepers, Harry. There's no problem there.
Certainly brought Szczesny out really, really well. And I think Tommy will be a little disappointed with Suarez's touch there. Maybe just holding the sprint button a little bit too long. Led to the heavy touch. And Szczesny, well, he's always making up the ground.
Still 0-0. Are we going to get a winner? Here's Ronaldo with the shot. And that's wide. Had a couple of opportunities, hasn't he, today? Mo Farah with Cristiano Ronaldo.
You can certainly tell the type of shot he wants to take with CR7. He's a very deadly weapon from that kind of range. We know the types of strikes he can pull off, but so far for Mo, it's just been, well, it's been tricky to get it on target without first striking a Barcelona man.
Here's Douglas Costa, and intercepted there by Clement Longley. Tommy Fleetwood looking to try and get Barcelona in a position to win the match, although they are finding it difficult to break Juventus down at the moment. Good defending again from Mo Farah. Here's Aaron Ramsey nicking it back. Now Bentancur. On to Ronaldo. Sergi Roberto in from right back to make an important challenge, although Ronaldo's got back on the ball again here. Aaron Ramsey out to Douglas Costa. And Higuain's waiting in the middle. That was really good defending by Gerard Piqué. And then Bentancur came in. I think he might have been hoping for a penalty there, but the referee's been inconsistent at best today and he didn't get it. It's good to see, though, Harry, that even a virtual referee can be inconsistent, you know.
Well, this is it. Some days you'll get the rub of the green, so to speak. And other days the referee will just be against you. So far, one of the biggest pieces of advice I might give both of these two players at the moment is, well, maybe just lay off the sprint button every now and then, because we're seeing a lot of heavy touches in vital situations. Obviously, in eFootball PES 2020, if you are sprinting onto a ball, the player's more likely to knock the ball ahead, and that's always going to give the chance for the defender to come across and maybe snatch it away. So just watch out for that. As for me, whoever's going to win this entire challenge is going to be the player that can, you know, really take control of the ball in midfield. We haven't seen that too much in terms of dominating the middle third of the pitch by either of these two players so far. We'll see if it changes.
Aaron Ramsey wins it back for Juventus. Up it goes towards Higuain, but Gerard Piqué stepped in again. Here's Rakitic. Actually tackled by Lionel Messi.
That's an interesting
Here's
one.
Ronaldo. Yeah. Higuain looked to take it on the chest. Piqué was back there for Barcelona and in the end did enough. Ter Stegen can kick it away. Here's Antoine Griezmann. Promising situation here for Tommy Fleetwood. He's still going here, Antoine Griezmann. He had the chance to cross it and decided not to. I think he does get the corner, though. So Messi with the delivery in towards Suarez. Cleared away as far as Sergi Roberto. And then Jordi Alba tackled by Douglas Costa. That's been the one area of weakness, hasn't it, for both of them? In fact, we'll get back to that because Higuain's on the move. Shrugs off Longley, still going. Piqué gets back. What a tackle. What a tackle from Gerard Piqué. Tommy Fleetwood proving he knows how to defend. That was brilliant.
That really was. Brilliant piece of defending. Piqué making up the ground. That might be a bit of a miss kick there from Mo. But Piqué never gave up on that defensive tackle at all. Made up so much ground and, well, really saved the result so far for Tommy.
There's Aaron Ramsey round the corner to Bentancur. Aaron Ramsey for Juventus. Now Gonzalo Higuain. So Mo Farah looking for a goal. It's good defending again. Clement Longley with the tackle. Tommy Fleetwood doing it right. And there's the full-time whistle. And we didn't get a goal, Harry. We will go to penalties. And, well, this is going to be another little aspect that they might not have practiced too much.
Well, how's your nerve? Straight to spot kicks. How's your fingers? Exactly. This will be a fun one to watch.
So it's Juventus first. So Mo Farah. And he sends Cristiano Ronaldo up against Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. Once scored a winning penalty in a Champions League final, Ronaldo. And he scores this one here. So Juventus strike first. 1-0 up on penalties. And we all expected Ronaldo to score.
Just trying to think who I would rather use in this kind of situation, Barcelona or Juventus.
Well, it's Griezmann for Barcelona. And that's a brilliant save by Szczęsny.
Wonderful save. That one was destined to the top corner. And I think I might just want to use Juventus based on Szczęsny's massive frame.
Well, there's another one. That's 2 out of 2. Douglas Costa straight down the middle. So Mo Farah 2 up now in the penalty shootout and pressure on Lionel Messi, who you feel's got to score at this stage. Otherwise, it started to slip away. Big moment this for Tommy Fleetwood. Now Messi just side foots it in. It wouldn't have been fair if Messi hadn't have scored.
How cool was that? Right into the bottom corner. Went for placement over power. Gets the goal he needs.
So 2-1. Higuain. Oh, he's at the bar. Oh, it's gone in.
It's gone in, I think.
It's hit the bar and gone in. 3-1.
And bounced out again.
Yeah. Let's see what Suarez can do against Szczęsny. 3-1. Oh, he's missed. He's missed. So he needs this one to win the match. So Mo Farah for the win. Blaise Matuidi with a penalty up against Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Patient. Oh, he sent it straight into the goalkeeper's arms. What happened there? Is that the pressure?
Well, I think he was banking on Tommy, I think, to go one way or the other.
3-1. Tommy Fleetwood and Barcelona still alive. Still alive.
Need to score both these penalties, though.
Frankie de Jong. Szczesny with a chance to... Oh, he scored into the corner. No problem there. When you hit the side netting, the goalkeeper can't save them. Aaron Ramsey, though, Harry, still with a chance to win the match here for Juventus and Sir Mo Farah. Aaron Ramsey needs to keep his cool. Ter Stegen up and down the line. This is the big moment in the match. Here comes Ramsey. Oh, and he scores, and that's that. Juventus and Sir Mo Farah win the game on penalties. Aaron Ramsey with the decisive spot kick. You've got to feel for Tommy Fleetwood. Barcelona played some fantastic football during normal time, but when it came to penalties, it was Sir Mo Farah who was able to keep his nerve. And when you look back on it, Ronaldo had the chances, didn't he, for Juventus in normal time. The best chances fell to him, I suppose you'd say, Harry.
Certainly so. It was a brilliant game of PES. I mean, we didn't get the goals we might have wanted in regular time, but... well, Mo did his best to throw it away at 3-1 in the penalties, didn't he? Kept his nerve, though, and he will advance.
First and foremost, the most important question, fellas, did you enjoy it?
No, we really enjoyed it. And I said, sticking to Tommy. But my aim now is to be able to get a few more matches with him and just generally add him and see what we could do and actually enjoy it as well as what we enjoyed today. But it would have been nice to score some goals for both of us.
Yeah. There's no feeling like it in the back of the net, but we just haven't done it.
Yeah, I thought from your perspective, Tommy, you played some great football in the middle third. You were pinging it around. I thought, here we go, little couple of back heels, Griezmann and Messi and all that kind of thing. And then when you got towards the penalty area, that's where you kind of run out of ideas.
I kind of ran out. I think that's a good call. I ran out of ideas. I was managing to keep
the old football cliche. That's what we say. That's the way we describe it.
That is how I would describe it. Yeah, I tried my best, but it felt like they had about 15 players on the pitch when I got into the penalty area. I think that's just me not being very good. Was the concern.
So Mo, talk me through the 1v1 for Cristiano Ronaldo, because he's got the goalkeeper charging out. There's the whole of the goal, and we're all thinking. Tommy must have been thinking it too. 1-0, and then shanked.
I know. I think I just panicked. And I was going for him. He stopped running. He kept still, and I was like, whoa. And then went to shoot, hold it too long, and it felt like I was playing rugby. Maybe that would have been a goal. We were playing rugby.
And then what about the penalty shootout? So you get to that, you're under even more pressure.
No, the penalty shootouts, I felt like, in fairness, to be honest, felt like, it was a draw. Penalty shootouts, even for myself, when I do penalty shootouts, even though it's a game for charity and we're all doing it for good cause, well, someone had to win at the end. But in fairness, I think we drew. And definitely Tommy did play well. And overall, I think he slightly played better than me. But I guess the end result is just, just had to take penalties, and I will take that.
I thought you were both fantastic. It's great to know that you both enjoyed it. Tommy, I've got to ask you before we let you go, how excited are you going to be about getting back there on the course and doing the day job and being able to get back out there and compete?
Yeah, I think more than anything, I think any signs, whether it be sport or any other walk of life, just getting back to some normality is going to be, great times and beautiful times, and I think people start feeling better. So for all of us, I think sport is a great torch at times for the world and signalling better times. And whenever it is, that'll be great. But yeah, all of us are looking forward to getting back to work, getting back competing, and getting back enjoying things again. So it'll be good. I reckon. I've got a bit more time on this to go yet. Get on the PlayStation. I know there's going to be some rematches in the background, me and Mo going on, but by that time I hope I'll be ready to play again.
You've both been fantastic sports, and we really appreciate your time today. Well done, Sir Mo. You win on penalties. Well done, Tommy, for some fantastic football controlling those Barcelona players, and we really appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
Guys, what a cracking game between Sir Mo Farah and Tommy Fleetwood there. The first thing I wanted to pick apart, though, was the fact that Mo Farah didn't use Arsenal. Darren, Arsenal fans across the world will be devastated at that. Going with Juventus, though, I suppose it's not a bad choice, but not using Arsenal this time round, Sir Mo Farah.
I think when you get Cristiano Ronaldo in your team, though, it is a little bit more self-explanatory. We can't take him to task too much for that. What I would say, though, I agree with you. That's one of the best 0-0s I've seen. But we got the impression really early, Harry and I, that the guys were okay. And then when it came to that big moment, doing the right thing at the right time to score the goal, that was the difficulty. They say in football in general, hardest thing you can do is score a goal. That's why the strikers get all the money. And we saw it today, didn't we? Samo and Tommy both had really good chances and couldn't get a goal.
Harry, in terms of a PES standpoint, where did they go wrong? I seen a lot of shots being charged up pretty highly, and there was a lot of. If you were playing no blasties, that would not be in the rules. There was a couple of them where maybe just a finesse would have done.
Yeah, just maybe go for placement over power here and there. The other thing they were doing wrong, as we said during the game, sprinting a little bit too much, losing the ball in the midfield third would have set up maybe more chances. But you could tell both the lads had their football brains strapped in. And again, unfortunately, we just didn't get to see the goals that we wanted to. But a penalty shootout was plenty entertainment for me, I think.
Well, there we go. We are going to see Sir Mo Farah go through. Now, just to reiterate why we are doing this here at the Solidarity Challenge is for the COVID-19 Relief and Response Fund. You can go to www.solidaritychallenge.org and you could donate in any currency, and every single donation will be sent directly to the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. Make sure you guys do donate anything you can. It will be appreciated. But we do have another game coming up next. It will be Amandine Henry taking on Blaise Matuidi. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 4 of day number 1 of the Solidarity Challenge here live. And we have two French compatriots going up against each other. Amandine Henry up against Blaise Matuidi. Now, we're interested about this one because, we've had a little bit of delay getting it ready. So both of these guys haven't necessarily had too much practice here, Darren, but obviously both very well skilled in the form of football, the beautiful game, of course, Darren, and we're excited to see how they play against each other.
Yeah, we have a World Cup winner and a mainstay of this fantastic Juventus team against a multiple Champions League winner in the women's game. Let's be honest, we've kind of explained when Steve McManaman played that it took him 20 minutes because he got to do an update. Blaise Matuidi's system needed 104 minutes before he could play. So this is the equivalent of a seriously delayed kickoff, but we're looking forward to it all the same.
We are, and I think he just hadn't installed the game, so that doesn't really give me too much confidence. I think we were ready to go, and it was like, okay, he hasn't installed the game yet, so it's like, all right, okay. We're going to have to wait a little while. But Harry, interested to see how these two play. We've seen not many goals too far outside of Antoine's game, so I'm interested to see if we're going to maybe see a little bit more here as the day goes on.
Yeah, hopefully. In terms of Amandine's sort of experience, one of the best French women's players of all time. So, again, that footballing brain, if it's switched on, and if she's had a little bit of practice, will probably give her the edge here over Blaise Matuidi, considering, again, he's only just plugged his PS4 in, so this could be quite tricky for Matuidi. And if Henry has her wits about her and has been practicing, then I could easily see her going through here.
Very much so, but just to remind you guys once again why we're here and why we are taking part in the Solidarity Challenge. It is to fight against the COVID-19 virus that is currently taking a hold of the world right now. The WHO's Solidarity Response Fund is what we are donating to. You can do that at www.solidaritychallenge.org, and that all those donations will go over towards the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund by the WHO. But I do believe we're nearly ready to get into this game. But first and foremost, Darren is going to chat to the players. So Amandine, is there a particular player that you are wary of?
Alors, pour l'instant, j'ai pas forcément un joueur qui me fait peur, si ce n'est que Blaise, sur qui je me concentre parce que c'est mon futur adversaire. Donc, on va déjà essayer de battre Blaise pour voir ce qui va arriver par la suite.
You're playing up against Blaise Matuidi. Have you got any particular strategy to win?
Ma stratégie pour battre Blaise, comme je connais le joueur sur le terrain, c'est quelqu'un qui a beaucoup d'endurance. Donc voilà, le faire courir, je pense pas que je vais réussir à l'épuiser. Donc je pense que ça sera plutôt le contre et puis essayer de marquer rapidement.
Now, Blaise, do you think you can win the tournament? Is there anybody in particular that you're very wary of?
Non, j'ai pas un joueur en particulier dont je me méfie. Après, je pense que d'abord, mon prochain adversaire, c'est Amandine. Donc, je vais me concentrer sur ce match-là. Et puis après, on aura le temps de voir.
You're going up against Amandine Henry. Is there anything in particular that you're going to be trying to do to beat her?
Ma stratégie pour affronter Amandine restera la même. C'est vrai que c'est un jeu où je n'ai pas trop l'habitude d'y jouer, mais je vais m'adapter et j'espère qu'Amandine sera assez conciliante dans ce match et que je pourrai marquer et gagner ce match.
So then we have another all-French affair. This is Amandine Henry, who is a multiple Women's Champions League winner and a World Cup winner in Blaise Matuidi. No surprise that Blaise Matuidi is going to play as Juventus and Amandine is playing as Barcelona. So what do we think here, Harry? It's going to be interesting to see which of these two's put the most practice in.
Well, it's a battle of the midfielders, isn't it? So it'll be interesting to see who controls that area of the pitch for the majority of the match. And more than likely, if you do control that area of the pitch, you will win the game of PES at the end of the day.
Higuain with the pass here towards Douglas Costa. Of course, we've got the situation here where Matuidi controls Matuidi. That's excellent from Costa. He's hit the post. And then Ronaldo, and it's an early goal for Blaise Matuidi and Juventus, scored by Cristiano Ronaldo. And that's one of the quickest goals we've seen in the whole competition.
Within the opening 5 minutes, how many times have we seen that man score throughout his career? The virtual Matuidi comes across to celebrate, and you feel for Amandine Henry here. It's an early blow. It's so unfortunate. Well, both for Matuidi that it hits the post, and also for Henry that it comes right back to Cristiano Ronaldo. But oftentimes that is just that rub of the green that sometimes you get, sometimes you don't. This time it benefits the Juventus midfielder, and he goes 1-0 up.
Now, we've seen a few players so far use Juventus, and that's the first time we've seen anybody get a goal for Cristiano Ronaldo other than from a penalty shootout. So Ronaldo's off the mark in the competition. Blaise Matuidi's off the mark in this game, and he leads by 1-0. And now the emphasis really on Amandine Henry to try and find a way back quickly in the match. Here's Lionel Messi. She's playing as Barcelona. Ivan Rakitic. And that's going to be a free kick. Is that going to be the first yellow card? We'll wait and see. No, it's not. Just a ticking off. Oh, it is going to be a yellow card. Not for that initial challenge, though, but I think for something that maybe Bonucci must have said. Can you do that in PES? Can you?
You can't quite get a ticking off for being a little bit too vocal, but you can certainly get a booking for that. It was a bad challenge
by Bonucci. Let's see what Messi can do from the free kick then. 1-0 to Blaise Matuidi at the moment. Let's see what Amandine Henry can do with this. Messi steps up and shoots, and as we see so often, it sails over the bar. The only person that's managed to master that so far is Antoine Griezmann.
Yeah, they're tricky PES free kicks. You almost have to judge the power based on how far away you are, but also combine that with the fact that you need to get it up and down, which means using slightly less power. You can also use the left analog stick to maybe control that a little bit as well.
Alexandro wins it back there for Blaise Matuidi, but there's the shot, which is too high from Luis Suarez. It's been a nice response, though, from Amandine. She's been attacking pretty much since Ronaldo gave Matuidi's team the lead, so she's certainly got the rhythm of things now, and he's asking one or two questions herself.
Yeah, I think what happened there, she was trying to queue up a tackle, but didn't realise she actually won the ball back, and that's why we saw the snapshot from Suarez blasted over. More often than not, if you take a touch first, you're more likely to get an accurate shot away, which is why I assume that Amandine just was queuing up maybe for a tackle there and didn't realise she actually had the ball in her own possession.
Alexandro twisting and turning. Here's Rodrigo Bentancur, and now Blaise Matuidi controlling Blaise Matuidi. Higuain, Ramsey. Bentancur. Here's Matuidi. Sandro to Ronaldo. And still going here, Cristiano Ronaldo, and then Douglas Costa. And it was worked superbly well there by Blaise Matuidi. And had it been a better finish at the end of it all, it might well have been 2-0. Here's Alexandro coming forward again with the cross into the Barcelona box, and Ronaldo might have the chance to make it 2, and he does make it 2. And it's the perfect start for Blaise Matuidi and Juventus, the perfect start for Cristiano Ronaldo with a trademark celebration, and Blaise Matuidi and Juventus 2-0 up here in this game against Amandine Henry.
Well, it's 2 goals for Ronaldo, and it's no surprise really to see his teammate in the real game really know how to utilise him, using Alexandro and Ronaldo down that far side so effectively. And well, it's a fortunate deflection, you could say, and a nice tackle by Cristiano Ronaldo and Blaise Matuidi that gives himself a 2-goal cushion. I think Amandine will be a little disappointed there with how our defence, well, failed to react to the deflection. Matuidi won't mind though.
So Amandine Henry finds herself under pressure early in the match. 2-0 down, 2 for Ronaldo. Blaise Matuidi at the moment in control of everything here. Here's Messi looking to respond for Amandine, and then Griezmann playing the ball back to him. It's a really nice ball. It's teed up then towards Suarez and was just behind him. Griezmann with the shot, and that's an instinctive save by Szczesny, and almost a goal back there for Amandine Henry.
Yeah, lovely little 1-2 there between Messi and Griezmann. I'm not sure if Henry was really expecting Messi to beat his man as well as he did. Griezmann arrives onto it, but Szczesny well matched to it. It's good response. Needs to start seeing some of these go in though, if you want to see Amandine really mount a challenge here against Matuidi.
So Messi out to take the corner, and we'll see whether there's any kind of success from this. It's a good corner, and it was a good header, and it was only just over the bar. That was nicely worked. We haven't seen too much of that in the competition so far, a set piece working like that.
Well, Griezmann rose really well. We've seen him so often in the real world, despite his less than optimal stature to win those battles in the air, those aerial duels. He's done it here on the virtual pitch, but you're right. Henry did really well. Amandine there, finding Griezmann, just couldn't quite get the ball to fall right on target. Might have given Szczesny some problems there.
2 attacks and 2 goals so far for Blaise Matuidi, and here he comes again, although this time it's too firmly struck for Gonzalo Higuain. I think we're at that stage, Harry, already, aren't we, in the match, where you feel that Amandine's got to score the next goal. 2-0's not so bad if you make it 2-1, but 3-0, it's a hell of a long way back.
Yeah, I think the important thing for Amandine is to not concede. Scoring next, obviously, is going to help your cause, but to go 3 down before the second half even approaches, you're right, it becomes a real big task there. I think it's going to be another one of those games as well where substitutions might just make the difference, and we know the depth on the bench of Barcelona and Juventus really could change the outcome of this game.
There's a foul by Sergi Roberto on Blaise Matuidi. Blaise Matuidi, who has himself in the Juventus team, of course.
Do you think he felt that in real life?
No. There's Matuidi onto Alexandro, who, as he does in the real-time stuff, loves to get forward from that full-back position. Ronaldo's got a couple of goals already in this match. Here's Sergi Roberto, who once scored that late dramatic goal in a European fixture for Barcelona that they still talk about today. Here's Messi. Busquets. Amandine Henry looking to score the next goal in the match, looking to at least half the arrears before half-time. Griezmann with a pass to Suarez. Suarez with a shot that was partially blocked. And that spins behind.
Oh, qu'est-ce que je fais?
Oh non! Technique comme ça, tu pourras mieux prendre le ballon avec elle.
So the last corner that Amandine had led to a header just over the bar by Antoine Griezmann. We'll see what they can do with this one. It's Messi's ball in. It's allowed to travel a long way. It's cleared as far as Sergi Roberto and played back in. And Douglas Costa, who's full of speed, can now start to run. Ronaldo over there with Busquets. Here's Higuain, and they've got players forward here, Juventus. And that's taken comfortably by Ter Stegen, the Barcelona goalkeeper.
Yeah, although nothing comes of that, I think Matuidi will be quite happy with the fact that many of the Barcelona players that were forward for the corner have now retreated back into their own half. So it almost resets the virtual pitch for both of these players. And you know, when you've just conceded a corner, that's always going to be a good result for you.
Messi with a lovely ball. Here's Suarez, who's in for Barcelona. Is this the goal for Amandine Henry? Yes, it is. And that was brilliantly finished. What a lovely little cutback by Luis Suarez. Juventus 2-1 up, but that's exactly what Amandine Henry needed.
Well, the finish was wonderful, but just take a look at this cutback from Luis Suarez. It was well worked in the middle. The through ball to find him was perfect, but look at this, just touch inside. Delict just he's left in no man's land. Matuidi thought for sure she was just going to keep running with the eventual goal scorer, but the finish matched the skill inside, and yeah, there you go, Delict. You're a little bit too slow to react there, Matuidi, and it's half the deficit just before half time.
Well, it's game on now, isn't it? 2-1, and we knew that Amandine had to score the next goal, and to do it in style like that is going to give her a tremendous amount of confidence. And we will see now whether she can build on that and get the next one too. Here's Alexandro. Juventus being controlled by Blaise Matuidi, a Juventus player, World Cup winner, Serie A winner, and a very, very integral part of this Juventus team. Here's Bentancur to Higuain, who can play it on here to Ronaldo. Ronaldo on a hat-trick, and that's wide.
I think it took a little deflection, so we'll see a corner here, but it would be a bit heartbreaking for Amandine if she were to concede so soon after. So one last chance in the half for Matuidi to maybe try and reinstate his 2-goal lead.
Yeah, the 2 goals that were scored early on by Ronaldo, and the goal back from Suarez that was brilliantly done. In goes the corner, and there's the half-time whistle. Well, that was good, wasn't it? 2-1. Matuidi 2-0 up. Amandine Henry with a wonderfully worked goal for Luis Suarez. And we go into the second half, and it's anybody's game.
Yeah, all to play for. And for me, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of substitutions are made in this second half. No changes at half-time. But again, that depth of skill on the bench of both teams here could really play the difference. The likes of Dybala for Juve, the likes of Dembele for Barcelona can really change the game and change the tide in the entire fixture.
Yeah, here is Suarez, Messi, straight to Bonucci, and now Cuadrado. Nice turn by Ramsey onto Bentancur. Douglas Costa doing well, and now Cuadrado. Chance to get the cross in here for Blaise Matuidi, but it went straight into Longley. And then the referee stopped it for a foul.
Yeah, I think Matuidi here just a little too forceful in trying to get the ball back with Douglas Costa. You can see he saw nothing wrong with it. The virtual Douglas Costa there pleading with the referee, but it'll be really interesting to see the battle we have to come here in the second half. The first half was so good, both players having their chances, and well, hopefully we see more of the same for the remaining second half of this game.
Blaise Matuidi bringing Douglas Costa forward. 3 in the box with him. Might go all the way here, Douglas Costa. In the end, it was one touch too many. Now Frankie de Jong as Amandine Henry looks for the equaliser, although Bentancur able to get it back. Here's Higuain, clip forward towards Ronaldo, and Piqué was back there for Barcelona. Given away by Longley, but it got the ricochet again. Douglas Costa was applying the pressure. It's a difficult one to call this at the moment, Harry, isn't it? Despite the fact that Blaise Matuidi's 2-1 up.
It is, and you know, we said at the start of the game, whoever controlled the midfield would be more likely to win the game. I'm not sure which way you'd call it at the moment. I would say maybe it's about 50-50. There is defensive frailties at the back, though, for Henry.
Matuidi with the shot, that would have been the moment, wouldn't it? If Matuidi could have scored for Matuidi, then that would have been fantastic.
I'm sure the celebrations would have come in on the player cam that we had. That would have been a fun one to see. Vital interception to send it out for a corner. That would have been a top corner special, I'm sure, by Blaise.
Yeah. Even Antoine Griezmann, for all of his goals, didn't score with Antoine Griezmann in the match. So Bentancur with a corner. Headed away. And now the chance for the Barcelona counter-attack led by Messi. Now de Jong. And on again now to Jordi Alba. Amandine Henry bringing Barcelona forward. Here's de Jong. And then Suarez couldn't get there because Leonardo Bonucci was behind him. It was a strange ball, though, by Bonucci. He got away with that, didn't he, Blaise Matuidi? Almost played it straight through for Messi.
Just about. One thing I've noticed, the production by Cristiano Ronaldo, who's on the ball at the moment, and Sandro down this near side has slowed down a little bit. Looks like Blaise wants to play on that far side with the likes of Costa and Cuadrado. It's not quite been as effective as he would have liked so far.
Cuadrado's passed to Douglas Costa. Good tackle over there by Jordi Alba. Amandine Henry defending well. Here's Griezmann. We'll go to penalties, don't forget, if it's all square after the 90 minutes of game time. Griezmann. Suarez. Messi. Is this the moment for Amandine Henry? Oh, it is! It's brilliantly done by Lionel Messi. And from 2-0 down, Amandine Henry has brought Barcelona all the way back to 2-2.
Well, that's another wonderful turn by Amandine Henry, which has just left Blaise Matuidi completely at sea with his defender. We'll see it again in just a moment in the replay, but a real icon of the French game, Amandine Henry. Just when she feeds it into Messi here, you can tell Blaise just thinks, he thinks she's going the other way, and she's completely sold him a dummy. Not sure who it was. I think it was actually Alexandro, who is tasked with marking Messi. Just a little turn back inside gave her the room that she needed with Leo Messi to slot it home, and it's game on now.
Alexandro needed a ticket to get back in. He'd gone completely the wrong way, and they are two fine goals scored by Amandine Henry, and as it stands, it's 2-2, and it's heading for penalties unless one of these French players can find a winning goal from somewhere. And at the moment, it's Blaise Matuidi coming forward with Gonzalo Higuain. Oh, he scored straight from the kickoff. From 2-0 up to 2-2, straight from the restart. Matuidi gets Juventus back ahead, and it's Higuain with a goal.
Well, for all Amandine's hard work, she has to fight back once again. Ter Stegen had no chance. We'll see it here. It's a very similar goal, actually, to the one that Blaise Matuidi's just conceded. The turn was the difference maker. And unfortunately for Amandine, she just didn't quite have control of her defender early enough to make the adjustment. And it's a lovely goal by Higuain, and Blaise Matuidi's back in front.
Well, you wonder whether that is the moment that decides it, because she had to come from so far back to get to 2-2, and then to concede a goal instantly is going to be a big test now. Although Suarez is looking to try and get behind De Ligt here, and Blaise Matuidi able to get that away. Here's Douglas Costa, and now Bentancur. Higuain. No foul given there. Referee happy with that. Busquets coming the other way now for Amandine. Good challenge by Bentancur. Now De Jong. Been a really good game this. Douglas Costa slipping away down there.
Silky footwork.
Now Cuadrado with the cross. And headed away by Piqué, but not very far. Higuain, went for the back heel and almost managed to squeeze it through.
Well, that could have been goal of the tournament. Improvised attack and an improvised shot. Didn't quite come off, though.
Here's Higuain again with a chance to seal it. Put it wide. Good chance.
Amandine is on the ropes as she chases this last-minute equaliser into the final 5 in-game minutes now. Obviously, stoppage time still to come. She's committing bodies forward. She's going on the offensive and, well, unfortunately, that's leaving her a little bit exposed at the back as she's taking some risks to try and force the ball forward. No substitutes from either side, so stamina will come into play here as well. Final 5 in-game minutes. What does Amandine have up her sleeve here?
Well, she's got to get the ball forward and she's got to get the ball in the Juventus penalty area to have an opportunity to take this to penalties. Such a good fight back from 2-0 down early, all the way back to 2-2. And then what looks like it might well be the decisive goal, straight from the restart, scored by Higuain to make it 3-2 again to Blaise Matuidi. Lovely skill there by Ronaldo. He's on a hat-trick, don't forget. He might get it here had he shot, but he instead tried to take on another player. Messi now to Suarez, Griezmann, De Jong. Suarez battling over there with one of the Juventus defenders, and there's the full-time whistle, and what a game it was. 2 for Ronaldo made it 2-0, Suarez and Messi made it 2-2, and then Higuain with what turned out to be the winning goal, and Blaise Matuidi is through after a hard-fought 3-2 win.
What a fantastic game there between you two. And just one final question to you both. Is there any particular reason you wanted to take part in the Solidarity Challenge?
C'était très important pour moi de participer au Solidarité Challenge parce que je pense qu'en ce moment, on a besoin de beaucoup de solidarité des uns et des autres. Et si je peux amener ma petite touche personnelle pour aider les personnes qui en ont le plus besoin et puis les associations pour essayer de combattre ce corona, c'est avec grand plaisir et je ferai tout ce qui est en mon possible pour aider.
Pour moi, il était important de participer au Solidarity Challenge parce que je pense que c'est important dans ces moments difficiles d'avoir une pensée et de pouvoir justement contribuer et être solidaire des personnes qui peuvent être aussi en difficulté et voilà, pouvoir montrer qu'on est présent et qu'on les soutient dans ces temps difficiles.
Well, chaps, what a game that was. Probably the closest, most entertaining one we've had so far in terms of goals anyway. Darren, both players seemingly very competent.
Well, it looked as though it was going to be one-way traffic, didn't it? Blaise Matuidi 2-0 up. Ronaldo got 2 for him. And you thought, well, this is going to be plain sailing, really. Matuidi controlling his club, Juventus, had the lead. And then Amandine Henry gradually dragged herself back into the game. And the goal that she got through Suarez to make it 2-1 was fantastic. And all of a sudden you thought, hang on a minute. And it turned out to be an absolute battle royal. It was brilliant.
It was really, really good. In the end, of course, Blaise Matuidi coming away with the win there, Harry. And do you think he was worth his money on this one? It was a very, very close game, but ultimately you feel as if he deserved it.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say even the first goal that he scored was fairly fortunate, but for large periods of the game, he seemed to be controlling the midfield. I do feel for Amandine, considering her heroic fight back. Both her goals were really tremendous, but Blaise, for a fella who had just installed this PS4 into his house, looked pretty handy on the sticks, I'm not going to lie.
And a manager will always say to you that a team is the most susceptible when it's just scored a goal. And we've proved today that's the same on PES as well. Because 2-2, maybe Amandine just lost a little bit of concentration thinking I'm all the way back. And then straight from the kickoff, Higuain scored, Matuidi wins, and he's through to the next round.
Well, there you go. What a game that was. And of course, this is all in the aid of the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund by the WHO. You can donate at www.solidaritychallenge.org. Just get yourself over there, and all donations go directly to the fund. Now we've got another game, the final game of the first day, coming up in just a moment. It's going to be Danny Ket taking on Mathieu Bastareaud. Guys, welcome back to the Solidarity Challenge. We've just seen a game between Amandine Henry and Blaise Matuidi there. A very, very close game, but ultimately it is going to be Matuidi going on through. Next, we do have Danny Ket taking on Mathieu Bastareaud. So, Harry, it's just me and you now. Darren's just had to get himself away. He's a busy, busy man. We keep just stealing him when we can, don't we, for a couple of games now and then. But it's just me and you this time round. We're going to be running through everything in the commentary as well. Excited to get this one between two rugby stars.
Yeah, he got a bit sick of me, I think, did Darren. But this should be a good one. I'm hoping for a lot of full-blooded challenges, considering both of these lads are used to, lots of physical contact. Obviously, football is a little bit less physical, virtual football even less so. So hopefully we can see, some of their rugby styles come into play here on the virtual pitch.
And of course, it is mostly footballers in the tournament, in the Solidarity Challenge. Of course, we did have Tommy Fleetwood and Farah playing each other as well, and obviously they're different. But it's nice to see different sportsmen from different sports coming in against each other. But of course, we have put the two rugby lads up against each other, as you have alluded to. England v France, once again, it's quite a tie-up in the Six Nations. I wonder if it will be on the virtual football pitch. We're curious to see which way these guys want to go. Both respectively have played for their countries as well. So I'm curious where people go. We're thinking they're probably going to go for stronger teams. So you're looking at your Barcelonas, etc. These big physical presences like Juventus. I mean, Harry, if you could pick any team, obviously all of these teams are stat balanced, who would you go with?
It's a good question. I think it really comes down to the type of football that you want to play. Obviously, you have Griezmann using Barcelona, not only because he plays for Barcelona, but no doubt because of the technical ability of the midfielders and the strong front three that they have. I think I'd probably use Juventus. I like Boss in the midfield. You've got the likes of Matuidi in that sort of midfield role, and you have the likes of Paulo Dybala you could bring on from the bench as well. It's very, very solid bench and a lot of depth in that squad. So it depends on the type of football you want to play. If you want to play it physical, you want to play it rugged, maybe you go for a Manchester United or a Juventus. But we'll have to see what these two lads want to choose here.
Well, we will get into the game very, very shortly, but just to remind you guys why we are doing the Solidarity Challenge. It's for the Solidarity Response Fund, www.solidaritychallenge.org. If you do want to donate, it is towards the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. That's exactly why we are doing this show, for the global pandemic that is currently still ongoing. Please do donate anything you can, and that's why these celebrities are here, to raise awareness of this charity and to get you digging into your pockets, if you like. So you can donate at that website, as said. But before we get into the game, we're going to chat to the players. So you guys, obviously, as Danny mentioned, have played each other on the rugby pitch. So playing each other now, Danny, for you, is there anything looking into this that you can maybe give you an edge with the way you play against each other in rugby? Is there going to be anything for you to take away in that respect?
Luckily, it's just through a computer screen. Nobody gets to beat me up. So I'm hoping it's nice and friendly. Now, looking forward to it. He's always been a lot to handle, as Matthew. He's a tough guy to stop. So I know I'm going to have to play well to stop him.
Same question to Mathieu. Then, are you gonna beat Danny up as per usual?
Pour avoir longtemps joué contre Danny, c'est quelqu'un de très 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 malin, donc je vais devoir me méfier. Et voilà, c'est quelqu'un de très intelligent, très intelligent sur le terrain, très malin. Et voilà, il s'avoue jamais vaincu, donc à moins d'être vigilant. Mais je vais essayer de le tabasser, oui.
Okay, guys, thank you very much and good luck in the game. So here we go then. Danny Care against Mathieu Bastareaud. It will be Danny playing as FC Barcelona, and it will be Mathieu playing as Juventus.
Starting Paulo Dybala, something that we haven't seen from other competitors so far in this tournament. I'd like to see Paulo feature quite heavily.
Oh, Rakitic is going to have one effort straight off the rip there from Danny, 3 minutes in. Bentancur goes from range, not going to help him. Still, it seems to be a good game of PES so far. Both these guys look to seemingly know where the shooting button is, which is saying a lot in comparison to a couple of guys who already had on, but there you go. Even Rakitic now, edge of the box. He liked the shot last time round. Is he going to find Messi in the middle? That's going to be a foul by the Argentinian man.
Let's go.
Let's go. To get away from this one unscathed as the yellow card is produced by the referee. But still, both teams creating chances here. And De Jong now to Rakitic. Good movement by Suarez. He's escaped through, and there's the first goal of the game. Danny Care will get the goal with Luis Suarez, and Barcelona will take a 1-0 lead.
Away!
Ramsey. Cristiano Ronaldo hits the post to stay, and it rebounds off him. And Barcelona will surely get this one away through Jordi Alba. Looking for that final chance. That should be that one snuffed out completely as Cristiano Ronaldo gets this one away, and at the half, Danny Care will take a lead of 1-0.
Stop giving him the ball back.
Costa will get a hold of the ball here, though. He does have options in front of him. Bentancur looks for Costa to get the ball back to him. But I'll tell you what, Paulo Dybala's won that one in the box, and that's in the top right corner. Mathieu Bastareaud levels things up here. Juventus and Barcelona one apiece as the Argentinian Paulo Dybala sticks this one in. It's another mistake defensively for one of these players. But Dybala just pounced in the box, and it's one apiece. Bentancur now looking for the pass. It is wayward, and Frankie de Jong's is not. Ousmane Dembele will play a delicious ball through to Luis Suarez. Can the Uruguayan tie things up? Yes, he can. It's a brilliant, brilliant goal to make it 2-1 to Barcelona. What a well-worked move. That might be it now. Only around 4 in-game minutes remaining here, Harry, and it is actually Danny on the attack with Barcelona.
Great tackle up the other end, it has to be said.
Sergio Roberto now looking to finish this one off. Ooh. It's another good save by Buffon. 1 minute remaining now, but it's Barcelona on the attack. Suarez, can he finish it off? Not quite. Matuidi will clear this one away, but I don't think Mathieu Bastareaud has time to get this one up on the other end of the pitch now. Messi will take a shot, and it's just about wayward, but there you go. It will be Danny Care's Barcelona winning this one 2-1. 2 goals from Luis Suarez is what does it, but what a game of PES there, Harry. Okay, firstly we'll go to Danny, the victor in this one. Danny, a good game of PES out yourself. Did you feel you were against the ropes a little bit though? At one point, it was there was a lot of attacking coming from Mathieu, but the counter-attacking and the through ball that eventually won you, the one that Suarez scored. Fantastic game of PES from yourself.
Yeah, that second half, I couldn't get over the ball. I think my boys were off celebrating. They were in the bar, they were drinking champagne. They thought it was over. As you got into the game, he probably should have scored a couple. He was unlucky not to score another one, and then I had to rely on an old Liverpool legend in Luis Suarez to bail me out. A good finish, but it was a good game. I probably didn't deserve to win, but I'll take it.
Mathieu, commiserations. You maybe did enough to at least earn a draw and force the penalty shootout, but just couldn't quite put the ball in the net.
Ouais, je suis déçu quand même parce que je pense que j'aurais mérité plus. Mais dominer n'est pas gagné. Comme je l'avais dit, Dani est très malin et il a très bien joué en contre. Et en plus, avec Luis Suarez en pointe, ça pardonne pas. En tant que fan de Manchester United, qu'un joueur de Liverpool me mette un doublé, ça me fait mal au cœur. Mais bon, c'est comme ça.
Well, guys, thank you very much for the game. It was thoroughly entertaining. One of the higher level games we've seen so far. So thank you very much, guys. And Danny, good luck on the rest of the tournament. Mathieu, I hope you enjoy your weekend. Thank you. So there we go. Then Danny Care and Mathieu Bastareaud. A very, very good game in the end, actually, Harry, wasn't it? You know, both quite proficient, it has to be said. We've seen some really good PES. We've seen some bad PES as well. But that one was definitely up there with some of the best we've seen.
Yeah, certainly. I think we were anticipating, because these two were rugby lads, a lot more of a physical encounter. That's a bit of stereotypical of rugby. But these guys were really proficient in terms of passing the ball around. I was very impressed with some of the patience that we saw in and around the box from Mathieu, especially. But in the end, it was just Danny who had the more fortunate chances, I suppose you could say. And any other day, the result maybe could have been different. But this time around, it's Danny that goes through.
Yeah, really could have went either way, and in the end, it's just Danny who took his chances. Probably had, as you said, had a bit more of a clear-cut ones in the end. Although Mathieu did have plenty of possession, but in the end, it will be Danny to go on through. But let's have a look at the rest of the games that we have already played today and what we potentially have on the cards tomorrow. So we've already seen some really big names come and some really big names fall as well. What was your favourite game that we've seen in day number 1, Harry?
Oh, it's tricky, you know. I like the Amandine Henry versus Blaise Matuidi game. That was a great match. Obviously, we saw Sir Mo make his debut as well, winning on penalties. Antoine Griezmann, the hot favourite, all stood out for me. And of course, Robert Pires joining us in the next round as well. They were all some fantastic matches. If you had to pick one in terms of closeness, probably Amandine Henry. And the Danny Kerr, Mathieu Bastareaud matches that we just saw. But if you're looking for an early tournament favourite, just look at the man from Barcelona, Antoine Griezmann, 5-0.
Looked so impressive, didn't he? And we very much expected that as well after knowing his history around PES, knowing that he plays with some of the pros as well. So he is very much the favourite for this one. But of course, we do have more action coming tomorrow. But just to remind you guys as to why we are doing this Solidarity Challenge. It is indeed for the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund by the WHO. You can donate once again at www.solidaritychallenge.org, and all donations go towards the cause to stopping coronavirus across the planet. But that is going to be it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with plenty more games of round 1 and into the quarterfinals. We'll see you then.